Good morning, guys. I wanted to talk about something that has recently transpired in my life, and that's bullying. Now, most people have dealt with some sort of bullying one way or another at some point in their lives, and sometimes it can be an ongoing thing. And you'd think that bullies would disappear after school, but some people just never grow out of being a jerk. Now, an adult bully is much more subtle than stealing your lunch money or pushing you into lockers. Even worse, they could be your work superior. It's the power differential often fuels their behavior. So, how to deal with those bullies? Number 1, understand their motivation. Adult bullies act out for the same reason that kid bullies do. They're trying to make up for some shortcoming of their own. Every bully I've encountered has had serious insecurity issues, and many times it's because they themselves were mistreated or made to feel inadequate in some way, and the easiest way to feel empowered is to pick on someone that they perceive as weaker. The first step to handling them is realizing that you're not doing anything wrong. If anything, it means you're doing something right. Bullies want power and control over you because they lack it in their own lives. It's like basically they have problems and they want you to pay for them. And of course, there are still some bullies that just do it for the kicks. They're usually far and few between, but they know they can get a rise out of you and they enjoy it. And their life could be great, but there's something about having the control over someone's emotions that makes them happy. Number 2, separate yourself from the bully. Use avoidance strategies. Bullies are looking for people willing to submit to their power play. If you make it look like the bully's actions and words don't affect you, it ruins the game for them. Try to keep your ego in check and let it roll off your back, which is what I did. And these girls were like, what the hell? She didn't even say anything. Like, she just like didn't even care. And they stopped at that time. It's since gone into a little more things, but I'm still doing my thing because I have dealt with bullies before, and I have definitely dealt with shitty girls before. I think most women have, and it's so immature. Like I'm just like, oh my god, your insecurity is sticking out. You should really tuck that back in. You know? Number 3, stop playing their victim. The bully singled you out because they see you as weak and vulnerable. And bullies might go after the short girl, the fat guy, the ugly kid, the weird person, because they feel they can target you where they're the most insecure. And some bullies will target someone who they perceive to be an alpha. You know, the popular girl, the good-looking guy, to boost their ego. This strategy serves as a social purpose in that the bully is trying to establish power so nobody else will try to push them around. So for example, if someone keeps making jokes at your expense, laugh along with them. If someone makes sarcastic fake compliments, tell them thank you. When someone says something rude, pretend you didn't hear them. If someone harps on the same mistake or accident you made, tell them that you don't care about that anymore, that you've learned your lesson. Keep your cool if you do have anything embarrassing so you don't give them any fuel to the fire. When you stop being a victim, each of the bully's attempts becomes embarrassing for them, not you. Remember, most bullies just want to get a rise out of you, so they feel like they have that control. The less subtle and aggressive they are, the easier they are to deal with. Label them as a bully in your mind and consciously avoid their bait. They might be aggressive, but they're probably lazy as well, so they'll eventually lose interest and look for a weaker target. Number 4, take a stand. For some bullies, a little more force might be needed. If a bully keeps pushing you despite your other efforts, you need to push back. Not physically, of course, but verbally. If there's one thing that bullies hate more than someone shrugging off their flack, it's someone standing up to them. And the best way to do that is to point out their behavior. Assuming the bully is nonviolent and unlikely to find some other way to harm you, confronting them by pointing out that their behavior is bullying is sometimes a good start. Avoid provoking them, but at the same time, question their motives and what purpose going after someone who has done nothing to them, no wrong, serves them. This shows that you're not afraid to call them out, and if necessary, put them on the defensive. Many bullies will back down at the first sign of resistance, so this can be highly effective. And if you're going to call them out on their actions, make sure you do it right. So here are some suggestions. Prepare for the encounter. You prepare what you want to say specifically, as well as where you want to say it. Having a plan will help relieve some of the anxiety you might be feeling, and it can also help ensure you approach the situation safely. Don't attack them. You calmly and self-assuredly stand up for yourself. Avoid getting emotional or escalating the situation. If you don't think you're ready, focus on not giving them the reaction they want for now. Be specific. That it's important to be specific about the issue at hand. Avoid blanket requests like stop bullying me, and specifically tell them what they're doing is not okay. Also, make sure you decide if you want to handle this privately or with others around. This usually depends on the severity of the bullying, so you have to feel things out for yourself. A bully that's just looking to get some laughs, or someone that doesn't realize they're being a bully, is probably best handled privately, so neither of you have to feel embarrassed. A more serious bully, though, might be best handled with some help from friends or coworkers. You don't have to gang up on them, but having others around can help make sure things don't escalate. Number 5, tell someone who can help. Despite all your best efforts, some bullies just won't go down easily. And when things have gone too far and you can't seem to get them off your back, it's time to send in some big guns. Your safety should be your number one concern. Don't let your pride prevent you from getting the help and protection you deserve, especially if things are escalating to dangerous levels. It goes without saying that any perceived physical threat should be handled with the assistance of local law enforcement or other community resource. And some bullies are dangerous and may need legal interventions like restraining order, a police report, etc., to reduce the risk of harm. This goes for bullies in the workplace too. You do not have to tolerate a toxic work environment. So reach out to the people who are specifically there to help in these situations. If the bullying happens on the job, many human resource departments have policies to address workplace bullying as well. The most obvious way to deal with a bully is to take a stand against them, but this isn't always feasible. If the bully is your manager at work, again, contacting HR after documenting the instances of bullying and following company policies to address the situation is key. I have definitely had workplace bullies. There's usually always one, at least one, everywhere you work. But I found using the term hostile work environment will often get HR to pursue your complaint fairly quickly. It is not weak or lame to reach out to others for help with your situation. It's good to see how you can handle things on your own first. But some battles just can't be fought alone. And if you think you need others involved, there are steps you can take to ensure you get results. First, accurately document what's happening. I cannot stress this enough. Having a list of specific times the bully has overstepped their boundaries will make it hard for them to refute the claims. Then, talk to any witnesses that have seen how the bully acts towards you. Write down what they saw, ask if they'd be willing to vouch for you. If you don't have any witnesses, arrange for someone to be around the next time you have to interact with your bully. The more evidence you have, the more likely the higher-ups or the HR will be able to help you. Now, there are the times, for me personally, when I have reached out to HR and it only kind of made things worse. And ultimately, I make the choice to end up leaving that job, knowing there are a million other jobs in the world. And honestly, that going to a new place can be a blessing in disguise. So if you want to beat your bully, you have to know what they want and their limit. My advice is, some people act tough but hate confrontation. Some bully for the confrontation and attention they get from it. So you have to know your bully, know what they want, and how to use that against them. I'm going to continue on with this little thing that I'm dealing with, and it has definitely been helping me because of many years of bullying. Yeah, I've been bullied my entire life. If I was overweight, my teeth, my short stature, my, being perfectionist or not doing enough, just like all over the realm of bullying. I have been there, and I will continue to be there, and I will not let them overcome me. So, best way, ignore them. Ignore them until you can't ignore them. And then do what you need to do. And if you are the bully, you need to take a look at yourself. If you are recognizing that you are bullying somebody, it's time for some internal work. You need some serious introspection of why you're doing what you're doing. That's all I can say with that. No one is going to fix you for you. You have to do that. This is your journey. Everyone has their own to deal with. So, if this video has helped you, hit subscribe and the notify bell for new videos. You guys are awesome, and I love you. Nyssatwoscoops out.